Good evening from Sweden, and welcome to today's video, which is about the motivation behind the motivation. So, we all have motivations throughout the day and throughout life, but many times we think that we are motivated by something that we are not really motivated by. We may think that we are motivated to get a specific position. We feel that we are motivated to do a certain action, whatever it may be. It can be that we are motivated to get an education, a certain education, or it could be that we feel motivated to be a better person. We are motivated or eat healthier food. It doesn't matter what it is that we feel motivated by. We are always motivated by something, but the interesting part is what the motivation actually stands for. When we say, for example, that we want to eat healthier food, it is not because we just want to eat healthier food. It is because that we want to achieve something with that healthy lifestyle. And what is it that we truly want to achieve? That is what the question is. We may want to experience that we feel stronger, that we have more energy, that we like to have the body that we have, and all of that. But what is the motivation behind those things? Is it that we think that when we have those things, that we then will be accepted by people more? Would it be that when we have those things, we see ourselves as more happy? Would it be that when we have those that lifestyle, that we feel that it matches more with the vision that we have for our life, like in general? And when that is in place, when we can see what is actually the motivation behind that motivation, then there is another motivation behind those motivations too. And what is that? When we really boil it down to the core, I believe that all motivation is about love. We think that by people accepting us more, that by seeing ourselves more in alignment with what we want, the life that we have as the vision for ourselves, that when we have that when we feel stronger, healthier, and more energized, we actually feel that that will bring us closer to love. Everything today that we are striving towards, I believe, is love at the core. It doesn't matter, even when we have a so-called bad motive, it still in that sense is a longing for love. And I think that that is what every human being is longing for, is love. And why is that the same thing that we all are longing for? Because we truly are love. We come from love because we come from God, and God's nature is love. Our nature is love. We long for our true nature. And we know that something is off when we are not in alignment with that nature. That is why we feel depressed. We feel that we are off. We feel that something is not as it should, because we are off of our own nature. And our nature is love. So when we can see that love is truly what is driving us, and when we can be honest towards ourselves when it comes to our true motive, which is that we just really want to feel love. And when we can start from that and feel our gap within ourselves with the love that we truly long for from the beginning, then it is much easier for us to navigate in the outside world, because we look for love for what it really is, which is in here. And then what we have from in here will just extend into the outer world from who we are. We are now no longer trying to get from the world, but we are actually being a force for love in the world, in whatever we are doing. It doesn't matter if it's in terms of business, and whatever business it is. It can be that you are a teacher, it can be that you are a painter, it could be that you are a businessman, it can be that you are an athlete. It doesn't matter. It is about being a force of love, a force for love in whatever thing that we are doing, in our families, and all everywhere, because we are that. We are following what is love for us. And it is important to see also that when we feel that we don't want to do a certain thing, that is also a motivation. And what is the motivation behind that motivation? When we really dare to ask ourselves the right questions and go deep, we will see, if we're true towards ourselves fully and to the end, that everything is a motivation for love. And that also brings forgiveness to the world and to ourselves, because we can see what it truly is. And it is important to understand that when it comes to love, we have no defense. That means that if you are having a hard time breaking, for example, a pattern that you see that you are motivated by, and you have seen the motivation behind motivation, when you don't want that pattern anymore, it can be good to just say, no, I don't do that. I don't want to do that anymore. But if you really experience a resistance in your pattern, it can also be because that you simply think some way or another that you are more safe by holding that pattern to yourself, and that is your motivation. You want to hold that pattern because it makes you feel safe. Why? What is the motivation behind that? The motivation is that is the closest that you think that you can get to the love that you truly want. So that is again a motivation of love. So when we have to break a pattern that we are holding on to, that we know doesn't serve us, I would say that when nothing works, we have to go to love there too. Because when we can recognize love in everything, then it is just like that we melt, and also the destructive patterns that we may want to hold on to, they melt away, because we can now see that we are safe to let them go. And we are always safe within love, because love is what we want truly. Like, that is the only thing we want. And yeah, I hope this made any sense to you. I do think that this is a really important thing to talk about, what the motivation behind the motivation even is, because that is where we find what is truly important. And also I believe that is where we can heal. Yeah, I love you, and I wish you a beautiful evening. Bye for now.